Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. This video is dealing with our favorite topic, which is stablecoins. So let's go to the article, let's read it together, and then we'll have a few comments after we finish reading the article. So the title of the article is Sony Bank Clears OCC Hurdle for Dollar Stablecoin. The subtitle, the lender's new U.S. subsidiary, Connectia Trust, would issue a dollar-pegged stablecoin once it clears the regulator's final conditions. So in brief, Japan's Sony Bank has won conditional approval from the U.S. Office of the Comptroller of the Currency to set up a national trust bank, Connectia Trust, to issue a dollar-backed stablecoin. The subsidiary will be established this month with $40 million in capital and is expected to begin operations in 2027 pending final approval. Sony envisions U.S. customers using the token to pay for video games, anime, and subscriptions across its ecosystem. Alright, so the article begins here. Sony Bank has secured conditional approval from the U.S. Office of the Comptroller of the Currency to establish a national trust bank, moving Japan's Sony Financial Group closer to issuing its own dollar-backed stablecoin. The lender plans to set up a wholly owned subsidiary, Connectia Trust, this month with $40 million in capital, it said in a statement dated July 6. The unit would issue and manage a dollar-denominated stablecoin and is expected to begin operating in 2027 once it clears the regulator's remaining conditions. Sony Bank said that the trust is meant to build a medium to long-term business foundation for Sony Financial Group's digital asset business. It has not yet named a representative for Connectia Trust, a stablecoin for the PlayStation economy. The bank previously told Nikkei that it wants U.S. customers to use the token to pay for digital content across Sony's ecosystem, trimming the fees that come with card payments. Sony's footprint spans the PlayStation platform and the Crunchyroll anime service, though no major franchise has yet committed to the plan. The push is only viable in the U.S. thanks to the Genius Act, the federal law passed last year that set reserve and disclosure rules for dollar-pegged tokens. It also dovetails with Sony's wider crypto strategy. The company launched an Ethereum Layer 2 network, Sonium, in early 2025, on which its blockchain partner Startail rolled out a separate dollar stablecoin late last year. For its own token, Sony Bank has tapped infrastructure firm Bastion to handle issuance, reserve management, and custody. A crowded charter queue. Sony is joining a line of crypto and payments firms seeking federal trust status. In December, the OCC conditionally approved Circle, Ripple, BitGo, Fidelity Digital Assets, and Paxos, and applications have kept coming, including one from Trump-linked World Liberty Financial. A national trust charter lets a firm custody assets, manage reserves, and issue stablecoins under federal supervision, but bars it from taking cash deposits or making loans. Sony's bid has already faced pushback. The Independent Community Bankers of America urged the OCC to reject the Connectia Trust application in November, arguing it would let Sony issue deposit-like stablecoins while sidestepping the insurance and rules that bind ordinary banks. The wave of applications has also drawn political heat, with Senator Elizabeth Warren, Democrat of Massachusetts, arguing that the OCC improperly granted charters to firms that don't qualify under the National Bank Act. The Digital Chamber, a trade group representing more than 250 crypto companies, rejected that in May, with CEO Cody Carbone saying the criticism misreads both the statute and the OCC's longstanding charter authority. A U.S. banking lobby has also weighed a lawsuit over the charters. For now, Connectia Trust is a plan on paper. The conditional nod does not let Sony open for business, and the bank must satisfy the OCC's outstanding conditions before its token can launch, currently slated for 2027. The global stablecoin market cap, meanwhile, sits above $308 billion. So that's the end of the article. On a previous video, we were covering the total global market cap for stablecoins. So yeah, it is above 300 billion right now. It seems as of these last few days, it's around 308 billion, and it continues to have an upward trend. So what we can extract from this article is that inside of Japan, there's been a lot of movements, but this is specifically for Sony Bank because of several primary drivers. Okay, they, as it says here in the summary, in brief, is using tokens to pay for video games, anime, and subscriptions across its ecosystem. Okay, so there's really a goal for Sony to enter because it needs to better service its paying customers. And it mentions here it wants U.S. customers to use the token to pay for digital content across Sony's ecosystem, trimming the fees that come with card payments. So really the goal is to try to remove these third-party card payment providers, these fees, so the Sony customer end user will have a bit more to hold on to and not pay as much. So that might even result in a price reduction, and then of course Sony might be able to keep the difference. All right, or split the difference. All right. And then it just mentions that Sony's footprint spans the PlayStation platform and the Crunchyroll anime service, for those who are familiar with that. And then it talks about, of course, the most recent activity on the legislation side and what Sony has been doing with their launch with the Ethereum Layer 2 network, Sonium, in early 2025 last year. And then it mentions that they partner Startail rolled out a separate dollar stablecoin late last year, is a strategic blockchain partner for Sony. And then for Sony Bank, they have already tapped infrastructure firm Bastion to handle the issuance, to handle the reserve management and the custody for the US dollar pegged stablecoin. And then finally, the article mentions all the other applicants for the trust bank status. And so they can manage reserves, they can issue stablecoins under federal supervision, but of course it bars these institutions from taking cash deposits or making loans. So that's the key. These trusts cannot necessarily take cash or make loans. They're simply fiduciary service providers. So with that being said, we are just going to make a note here because Sony is a very large Japanese player. And as you guys know, you are welcome to email us at info@cryptodeposit.org. But of course, you can get started on the website, cryptodeposit.org. You can connect your wallet. You can use our partner platform, Crypti. You can use MetaMask. You can use many, many other types of wallets out there. And then, as you can see here, once you've connected your wallet, you can even deposit cash. There's a way to onboard fiat, onboard dollars, many types of dollars. Here it says, Australian dollar, etc. You can get stable coins, USDC, USDT. You can then deposit your stable coins, USDC, USDT. There's a yield curve anywhere between minimum 7 days up to 5 years. Okay, so that yield curve is adjustable. And then, of course, you'll view your bills, your history, everything on a ledger, everything on the blockchain, self-custody, and you can get involved with borrowing and lending protocol if you so wish. OTC is just submitting a request for proposal if you have any OTC requests that we can help execute. And then, of course, your statement history, your messages are all wallet-to-wallet XMTP. We did a video on that. And then, of course, any other overall activity history once you've got your wallet connected, and exchange tab and swap tab. So more videos to come. Of course, you can read our white paper at the bottom of the homepage, or there's a YouTube video on the white paper. So much to learn and explore at cryptodeposit.org. But of course, if you wish to be onboarded, just email us at info@cryptodeposit.org in case you are a asset manager or a family office. If you needed some more assistance, we're happy to provide that. So with that being said, we're going to just make a note of this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this update coming from Sony over there in Japan as they try to expand their stablecoin presence inside the United States. We thought it quite relevant. We learned a lot because of some of the players involved, some of the supporting companies involved on the tech side. We will continue to provide videos such as this because they are very, very topical for us. We are very laser focused on stablecoins as the stablecoin industry continues to mature and evolve. and we will cover countries on a specific basis, such as Sony, because Sony is in Japan. They're a very popular Japanese company, and it helps us understand what some countries across the globe, far away from what's going on in the United States, are doing when it comes to stablecoins, whether that be their local currency or, of course, the favorite, which still seems to be USD stablecoin offerings. So thank you again for your time and attention to today's video, and we will see you on another video soon as we cover some of our favorite topics on legislation, regulation, and all things stablecoins. Have a good day, everybody, and see you on another video shortly.